Are you Fujiyama?
Yes, I am. Who are you?
I'm a cop.
His real name is Joe Marshall. They call him Samurai. He speaks fluent Japanese. He got his martial arts training from the masters in Japan. Was brought over here from the police force in San Diego to fight us.
Would you like to fuck me?
You're the one that talked me into bringing this moron from San Diego to fight the Japanese katana gang.
Bingo.
I want him dead. I want his head cut off and brought here.
Have you been circumcised?
Yeah, I have. Why?
Well, your doctor must have cut a big portion of it off.
I want his head on this piano so that every man in my organization understands once more that no katana gets captured alive or talks. Got that?
How did you know I'd come home with you?
Let's just say I can read eyes.
I feel like somebody stuck a big club up my ass, and it hurts. I've got to figure out a way to get it out of there.
Remember, it's audio only, so don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
Pick your nose if you want, whatever. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 3 of the podcast in crime, brought to you by Friendship Supreme. My name is Cleve.
My name is Michael.
And today we're reviewing a buddy cop movie that...
It might be my favorite one.
I try to think of something funny and witty to say at the beginning, like maybe mislead people. I don't it's Samurai Cop. I don't know how to veer you off of what we watched. It's like, if you had to describe this movie to me, had I not seen it, what would you tell me?
You remember Gabe from The Office?
Mm-hmm.
And his obsession with Asian culture? I like to think that he made this film and like casted himself as the Samurai Cop.
That's pretty solid. Yeah.
I don't know. Like the first time watching this, because I've now watched it twice. First time watching it, I genuinely thought that it was a Tommy Wiseau situation. I thought the main actor had directed the movie himself and was just in it, and he was awful and like couldn't act, and that's why. That's not the case, which is a shame.
I mean, I'll tell you 2 facts about this movie, and it will instantly let people know the kind of movie that we watched. One, the entire movie's in the day because they didn't have money for lights. Start to finish, every scene is daytime, which is, when a cop gets his most work done. 2, a lot of it was just dubbed. Their lines were just added into the scenes later. And you know what? I'll even go 3, they didn't have a lot of props, so only the main characters had the same guns and everybody else shared guns.
They were really the first like mustache scandal type of movie. I feel like, like we were upset about Henry Cavill and having to come back and reshoot and have to like CGI over his mustache. They finished this film and then made the main actor come back after he had already cut his hair because he was done with the movie, and they then had to make him wear a wig. And they reshot like 80% of the movie.
A woman's wig.
Yeah, there were times where the wig just came off while they were fighting.
What's funny is when I found that out, I was like, I don't know that I noticed the wig. But that's because it's in the whole movie. The whole movie's the wig. I should have been looking for scenes where it was his actual hair. That's where I was messing up because I was like, start to finish, I was like, it looks like the same hair. No. The director apparently was upset that the main actor cut his hair well after the movie finished. Right around town, found a woman's wig, and that's what he wore for the movie. I also enjoyed that a lot of the close-up scenes were just
the same room,
the director's office, and just them reading lines. The best is what's the guy's name? What's the black guy's name? Mark Fraser. Yeah, Frank Washington, Mark Fraser. There's certain parts where they just want him to react to things, so they just tell him to make faces. And it's some of my favorite parts is him just making faces about different things happening, or looking directly at the camera and smiling, or a ridiculous laugh he does that will warm my heart for years to come.
He makes a lot of weird faces. I think that Robert Zadar is really who we sleep on, because that I don't think his makeup, his cheek structure, his facial structure is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I thought it was makeup. And then I saw that he's in other films that he still looks like that.
You're talking about the main, not the main villain, but
No, but like
not,
kind of
not
the main villain. The one that
Yeah.
is like fighting Samurai Cop all the time is the white guy that's real obsessed with Japanese culture.
he's like the right hand man. That's like the muscle.
Yeah. With his little tiny rat ponytail.
Yeah. Let's okay. So I feel like this movie has just got me all out of whack. So let's talk about what the movie's about. We
The
bring
Katana
in,
Gang.
yeah, the Katana Gang, and trying to take them down. We bring in a samurai cop from San Diego,
San Diego. A whale's vagina.
and that's direct translation. And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, and he likes to sleep with women.
Shenanigans
3?
ensue.
I think 3 in the movie.
There's 3 sex scenes. I don't know if he sleeps with 3 individual women. He talks about the helicopter woman.
Yeah, I just count that as being a done
Oh,
deal.
okay.
He says, keep it ready, and he says, I'm always ready, or something.
And the nurse, which I don't think we actually get into.
Yeah.
And then the love interest that was clearly with the main bad guy.
And I feel like there was one at the very beginning. And maybe that was I don't even remember.
It doesn't matter.
There's too much.
The
most awkward sex scene ever.
This is the most awkward of a lot of scenes ever.
Yeah.
I enjoy, me personally, the death scene acting. It's probably some of the best because it's like they're having a heart attack.
It's like if we took a bunch of 7th or 8th graders and said, hey, here's $1,000, go make a movie. But we just want to watch you die a bunch of times.
And then they came back and said, hey, we have an extra $500.
And you're very confused. You're like, wait a second. Yeah, no, like it's when you were kids and you played war and you didn't really want to die, but you got shot and so you had to go like this. You're like, oh no, I'm still alive.
So in my notes, I wrote that almost every shot in the movie was done in one take. But I apparently typed, if I can let the dog out, I'm like, apparently I typed shit, which just goes to explain, apparently subconsciously, what I thought of this movie.
I think I'm a little torn, but I think one of my favorite scenes, I think I'd have to have like a top 5 kind of situation, but I think one of my favorite scenes is when the man catches on fire and is like running around screaming because he's on fire. The main actor and Frank did not know that this was going to happen. Didn't realize that when they showed up on set that this man was going to be set on fire and they were going to be expected to put him out. So they're putting him out as genuinely them panicking to try to put him out. And then the best is like the camera stays on the guy's face, and at one point you see him just look at the camera like, are we done yet? Like, is the fire out? Can someone put this out, please?
Yeah, he looks back like, I hope I'm no longer on fire. This movie was, as I'm sure, as all over the place as this episode sounds. And that's because it is. It's just all over the place. Every part of it. The cast wears their own clothes and drives mostly their own cars. The writing is terrible. Everything's just on the rails here.
I remember one of the only actual Asian people in this entire fucking movie's names.
Oh, the stunt coordinator.
Yeah, I would say he's a stunt coordinator. Like he actually coordinates fights normally, and the main actor was like the most fucking awkward ever. At one point in time, was told just to do things with your hands, so he came up with doing the "I love you" thing. What is it when he's standing there in like fighting stance and he's like fucking Spider-Man? It was the best.
Yeah. The main actor, there's an interview on YouTube of him, and he's been very clear on the fact that he hated this and did not care at all and just wanted to get the movie over with.
I mean, but he did come out with a second one.
He did, and I don't know how we're not supposed to watch it.
Spoiler alert, Tommy Wiseau makes a cameo in it.
Oh,
I watched that clip because it was just there. Oh God, this movie. There's really no plot. That is the plot. Like there's a Japanese gang. They had to bring in a specialist because they needed help dealing with this Japanese gang, and his name was the Samurai Cop because he spoke fluent Japanese and was wise in the arts of the katana.
yeah.
I didn't even want to say Bushido, like he just the art of a Japanese sword, because the man is just, I don't know. I guess they wanted to be Bushido.
So there's lines in this movie. I know some of them have touched your heart because some have touched mine. Would you like to say any? Just because the trailers in the beginning of the episodes, the audience has a kind of an idea. Because the trailer has a part where the cop is the chief is sitting back. He's like, it feels like there's a clump of ass. I'm trying to get it out. I'm like, what? So, any quotes do you remember that you'd like to just get out there?
Frank Washington has 2 ad-libbed scenes that I enjoyed a lot. When he's crawling under the fence and the guy goes, "Why did you crawl under the fence?" He goes, I'm an undercover cop." And then just looks at the camera smiling like, I know what I did. And then the other one was, when the chief was like, he closed his eyes at one point, so he kisses him on the forehead. He wasn't supposed to do that. And so then the chief freaks out and thinks that he did such a good job. He sits there for a second and like expected them to yell cut, but they wouldn't. So he just lays in his chair and closes his eyes till they call cut. So you get like a minute of him just sitting there in his chair. Oh, this fucking movie, man. It's rough. All the weird sexual things, like those are funny, but I don't know. They were just so fucking awkward.
I think one of my favorite is that was super not supposed to be joking. There's a part where he's interrogating a guy, and he's like, tell me where they are. They tried to kill a cop." And then the guy tells him, and then it immediately cuts them outside the house. And they're like, "Are you sure we got the right house?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what they told me. If it's the right house, we'll go in there and we'll arrest them. And if it's the wrong house, we'll just apologize and move on."
On the other hand, if it's the wrong house, then we'll apologize to the owner. The usual police routine.
I'm like, if that's not how police
That's
work,
not the realest shit. The realest shit ever. Oh God, yeah. No, I agree.
I'm scrolling through the quotes right now. One of them is he got his martial arts training from the masters in Japan.
Well, I mean, that's a special one.
That's all.
What happened? Are you out or in? Baby, I'm always in.
And then there was the charcoal black joke that you enjoyed.
They said it twice. They liked it. So the director thought it was so funny. He had them do it twice.
Yeah. So Frank says, "Captain Roma's gonna burn my ass with this," and Joe, the samurai cop, says, "Yeah, charcoal black." And Frank replies, "It's already black." And Joe goes, "My man," and they're like high five.
He does the "my man," and he goes, "Yeah."
Well, they low five. My apologies. Yes.
But the best was like when he went for the low five, because it literally like the cheesy fucking 70s like soul brother man when he does the high five, and when he comes down on the bottom, he goes to high five, and you could tell that boy Frank is just done, and he's got his fucking fist just there, so he goes like this on top of the fist. No man, both of them got along apparently really well, but yeah, they both hate.
I can imagine. I need Funko to get on the Samurai Cop train if they could.
I don't know. Like you said, at one point he says, my ass is already black, but then he says he'll probably chop my dick off too, and that's when the girl says well, come by my house, better use it before you lose it. And
then everyone just kind of laughs. And then the other cop is standing there, and she walks off, and he's like, "Hey, we got nothing to do. Let's fuck." And he's like, "No, I'm
the most casual about it too. Like, no."
The sex symbol they try to make this man is outstandingly amazing.
The guy. Okay, so this is actually kind of I feel like a funny story. The cop that she says that to, that's like, no, he's the one that has the wife, and the katana gang shows up to his house to figure out where Joe, the samurai cop, is, and they threaten to kill his wife and him, then spoiler alert, they kill his wife. But like, I remember us talking about this like immediately after we had seen the movie, and it was weird because he hated all of the like Japanese culture, samurai, like he didn't like any of that, right? But for some reason, the house that they used was some random guy in Hollywood's house, and this person happened to be like a martial arts master. So when you actually went in the room, they didn't change anything about it. So all over this man's house, who hates Japanese culture and hated martial arts, there are plaques and belts and trophies for martial arts things and like posters and all kinds of stuff. And so it was just kind of an awkward, weird scene. Not to mention, we then watched him watch his wife die and then him die too. That was fun.
Yeah. And then Peggy, the female cop, gets attacked also, right? But it's like way more aggressive. I don't know.
Yeah, those two scenes are really that Robert Z'Dar, man. He's a vicious fella.
He is. It was so weird. This whole movie, man, was just all over the place.
Yeah.
Remember when they popped up on Frank too? Remember?
Oh yeah.
And like he's like in a towel.
Yeah. No, the scene when he comes up to his soon-to-be love interest and the leader of the Katana gang, and he just like has this weird monologue where, and the actor has this thing where he can bug his eyes out real hard and look real intense. And it was when he started with the "now I'm telling these sons of bitches," and then halfway through he goes, "and I'm telling these motherfuckers," and he gets super angry and like yelling at them. And
That's acting. That's acting.
It was the most passionate moment I had seen in the whole film.
Yeah, I don't even know what else to say about it. It just, I mean, does it one hell of a cop, or does it need to turn in his badge and gun?
I mean, he killed everybody and got the girl and he saved all of LA. I feel like they get to keep their badge.
I mean, they did solve the crime. The last movies that we watched didn't even do that. So,
well, I mean, I guess Pat Morita got the special car piece.
Here's the thing. I made a TikTok of recreating the Avengers scenes, the big fight in the first Avengers movie, and I did more than one take when I recorded it, and I did it with Funko Pops. This movie did everything in one take.
So it's become like a cult classic. That's why they came out with the second one. But like, I don't know. Like this is where our rating system we got to start honing in our rating system, because are we just going off of like, is this a fucking terrible movie? Because it's a terrible movie. Did I laugh 90% of the time? Absolutely. Was it for the right reasons? Probably not.
Here's the thing. Okay, let's say that this movie didn't have a category on it. It wasn't like crime fighting or drama or anything like that. Like, could you still sit here and say
it's the first Rush Hour, man?
It is, but that's not a positive. Because here's the thing: if you gave me this movie and you said it was a comedy, I'd be fucking on board. I would think it's fantastic.
Although I will tell you, I think that the reason it's so comedic is because they took it seriously. Because I don't think, and watching the two clips that I did from the second one, I don't think it's going to be as good, because they're like, I think they were too self-aware.
They're leaning in on it now.
So I guess technically I would say this is a turn in your badge, because they tried very hard to make it a serious movie and it failed at that horribly.
I would say it's a turn in your badge and gun, because it's not good. It's not a good movie. It's just not a good movie. However, I highly recommend watching this movie.
Yeah, no, it's got so much comedic value to it.
For sure. If you want to have a good fucking time in quarantine, on a streaming service that'll let you watch it for free, for sure watch it. We watched it on Tubi. Yeah,
and you can, and honestly, I think if you watch it, you'll have inside jokes with your friend for the rest of your life, man.
However, fast forward all the sex scenes, because they're just awkward.
They are. It's not.
And there's 3?
I think so.
2.5. I enjoy when they try to go catch the bad guy that they got the information from the guy they interrogated, and he's laying with some woman, and they're trying to arrest him, and the screen door is locked. Which I assume is on purpose to give the guy time to get away, but it's just not good. None of it's good, but it was good. If that makes sense for people.
I'll read one of the attempts at a sex scene for you. Actually, Cleve, if you're on IMDb, still with the quotes, if you could just go ahead and scroll to the nurse and Joe scene, and I'll gladly play the nurse for you.
Oh, such a long quote. Okay, go ahead.
We could stop at about, I don't know, where it says investigates his bulge. Because that's a part of the fucking scene. Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Would you like to go out with me?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to me?
Bingo.
Well, then let's see what you got. And then she grabs his dick over his jeans.
I think we should cut down to where she asks, have you been circumcised?
Okay. After she investigates his bulge.
Because that's the thing we say. that's the thing I have to say is let's scroll down to the line where she says, have you been circumcised?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So she investigates his bulge and says, doesn't interest me. Nothing there.
Nothing there. Just exactly what would interest you. Something the size of a jumbo jet?
Have you been circumcised?
Yeah, I have. Why?
Your doctor must have cut off a large portion.
No, he was a good doctor. I think it's in the trailer. It might be, I swear, I hope it is. Continue.
I just got a text from Katie that says, what the hell's happening?
Oh man.
The doctors make mistakes too. That's why they have insurance.
Hey, don't worry. I got enough. It's big.
I want bigger.
And then if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, it then cuts to Frank's face, and he makes one of the best faces.
And then he comes walking out the door and goes, I got bigger.
I'm telling you, he's one of by far my favorite things in this whole movie is Frank Washington.
I love that shirt.
Yeah.
The many faces of Frank, and it's all just the same one.
Like I said, I was gonna try to recreate like an action scene in this, and I wish I had something, but there's nothing here to do.
No.
It's just not. Yeah, we've already said what our rating was. I don't know what else to do with this thing.
Nope, that's it.
If you've enjoyed this series or any of the other episodes we have, please go to youtube.com and search Friendship Supreme, and it will be the podcast and crime playlist. We also have our main podcast, which is Friendship Supreme, and our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Friendship Supreme, where you can watch Michael and I play games every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 10 p.m. Central Time.
I've been Michael.
Yeah, I'm Cleve Samurai Cop Johnson. We have reviewed this movie twice, and without it being a comedy, we cannot say this movie is one hell of a cop. Watch it with friends, and you will have a friend for life. But we must ask, this movie turned in its badge and gun. Case closed.